everyone, it is Lissential back. Oh my god, hold on. Forgot to take off my AirPods. Ooh. Sorry everyone. So it is Lissential back, and today is a very, very, very important video. It is the first time I'm ever making a video like this. So I'm actually very happy and very anxious about it because I just didn't think I was going to get as much submissions as I was. I'm gonna do a little bit of a disclaimer. I do have a busted lip. No, I didn't get into a fight. It's just something that happened by accident with myself. So if you do see this, yes, it's busted and it's bleeding and it has a scab. But anyway, I wanted to get into this video because I think it's very important. So as you guys see by the title, I will be sharing openly, with permission of every single person that I will be sharing their story with. I have full access, full permission to share what they wrote. So everything I will be sharing is openly okay to the public as by their standards. And this is what they decided to share. So a couple of them I didn't read. So I'm kind of anxious but kind of excited to read them and kind of see, you know, what others people's backgrounds were like, what happened, or how they got to the point of where they gotten, you know, because I feel like it's very important for me, like most of you who do watch my channel, but if you don't and you follow my MS series, you've kind of seen how I progressed and all the symptoms I've had and how I was diagnosed with MS and when was I diagnosed with MS. So it was a very crucial series, and I think it's a very strong, heartwarming series because I literally come on camera, and whether I'm sad or whether I'm feeling sick, I would still come on and I would film, because the bottom line is if I don't film properly how our everyday life is, no one would really know how multiple sclerosis actually functions within our bodies. I mean, we're not always going to look okay, you know, so I feel like that was something that was very important. And if you guys do want to watch my series, then I'll link it up here. I feel like it's very important. If you don't like watching good or bad things, or I guess negative things, because there's always going to be a negative aspect to it, then don't watch the series. But for those of you who want to learn, have family members, partners, or know people that have MS, then this is the series for you. Otherwise, I kind of want to get into my story and then we'll talk about their stories. So most of you that have been following my channel, or if you haven't, I have a disease called multiple sclerosis, and this disease is a central nervous system disease. So it's a disease that attacks only the central nervous system as to this point. So that affects every single function you can think of, anything that your nerves control. So your vision, your mobility, your cognitive brain functions, your focus to do things and process things, like your memory. It also gives you urine problems. It can also give you internal problems. It depends on the situation you're in. It also depends how many lesions you are. If you don't know what lesions are, there are these small white matters in your brain, your neck, or your spine. You may get them. And I happen to have a few in my brain, and I do have a lesion in my spine as well. As to now, I haven't gotten my report back for the thoracic, so I'm still waiting for that, but I do have the brain. Everything is stable, but I do have a few lesions there. So if you do have lesions, then that is also a very big sign of you getting diagnosed with MS. So that's pretty much altogether how I was diagnosed. I was diagnosed on February 2020 of last year. So in the beginning of the pandemic, I was diagnosed because I was going through a lot of symptoms for a while, and it got worse last year, and I unfortunately lost partial vision in my left eye. And I was kind of having a little bit of mobility issues, which is why I ended up seeking a neurologist and an MS specialist to kind of help me out. So that is kind of the reason why I was diagnosed altogether. So I would want to say that it's been a year since, you know, I've been diagnosed, which is really like heartwarming, because it's like, I can't believe a year went by and I was literally diagnosed a year ago. Like, I couldn't believe it. Like, a year ago, I was like laying on the bed after my lumbar spinal tap, you know, like depressed and just, you know, like sitting there like, why is this happening to me, sitting on the bed? And now I'm just like in a better place in life. I kind of want to say I am in a better place, but it's like, it's just crazy how you go from that time to this time. But yeah, that's a little bit of my story. I have a lot of symptoms, so I can't sit here and say what specific symptom I have. You would have to go back in my multiple sclerosis journey series, and you'll kind of see each video and see all the symptoms that I pretty much kind of go through. But for now, I just kind of wanted to give my background on how I was diagnosed. So that's pretty much my story. So now I want to kind of focus on their stories, because like I said, a lot of them I didn't read, so we're going to be going through them together, and I will be making my comment or my statement towards them. I will be sharing this video, so most of them will be seeing it. Thank you guys. If you do see this video, thank you so much for sharing your story. It's not only helping me, but it's helping other people who were just recently diagnosed, who don't know what is going on, and they can watch this video and be educational, and they can learn from my story, from your story. So every submission that I got right now, I want to thank every single person. It is very important to me, and it's very important to people out there who also do not have a voice and can't reach out to people, or they're scared to reach out to people. So this is very important to me, and it's very important to them as well. So let's get into our stories. So first and foremost, I want to speak about how I got these submissions. So I do have a platform where, you know, I do speak to people in regards to having this illness, but I'm not going to say which platform because I'm going to keep it very discreet. But I am going to start mentioning, you know, the people's names or the names that they chose, and I'm going to pop the picture up here or somewhere up here, and it will show the submission for you guys as well. So the first submission that I have is by Tanya. It's a very short. She pretty much kept it vague, which is fine. So she had stated that I was diagnosed approximately 2 weeks ago. Tanya, I'm very sorry that you were diagnosed so recent. I know it's hard. You've probably been dealing with symptoms for so long, and I know how that feels. Girl, I fought 2 years with symptoms to now finally, you know, have a reason why I've been having so many issues. So I feel you, but you know, I know it's not a good thing to say, hey, you know, thank God you found an answer, because, you know, you found an answer, but honestly, it really does suck. But I'm glad you found an answer, and, you know, I'm happy that you can move forward and now doctors can properly treat you. So thank you, Tanya, for your submission. All right, guys, so we have another submission from Walter. Thank you, Walter, for submitting your submission. So we do have another vague one, and it says, well, with me, the VA is not sure yet, but I have most of the symptoms. So I'm very sorry that it's taking you a little bit long. It might have taken you long to kind of get to the process. I know how that feels. So for those of you who may not know, it is not easy to get diagnosed with MS, and let me tell you why. MS has so many symptoms. So for you to get diagnosed with MS, of course, you have to have at least 3 to 4 symptoms that correlate with it. So, for example, with me, I had the pain and the mobility issues, 1. 2, I had the lesions of white matter in my brain. That is number 2. Number 3, I have active apological glands in my spine, which is the liquid from your spine. It is, how do I say it? There's these bands that they look for in your spine, and if you have a very high count of it, then that is saying that you have a demyelation disease in your system. Number 4. Number 5, I lost partial vision in my left eye 2 times. So that's 5 indications for them to have diagnosed me with MS. So I had to have all 5 symptoms in order for them to kind of correlate the entire situation. So that kind of tells you how hard it is. You literally have to go through extensive testing exams, and you have to see multiple doctors because it's not easy. But the doctor I first saw was a neurologist, because they treat the migraines, and I was getting migraines like more than 10 times a month. And my migraines would last 3 to 5 days, sometimes even a week, depending. So it was not easy. And that's kind of the reason why I was seeking help. So like I said, it's not easy to be diagnosed with MS. It is a very extensive process. But when you do feel the relief. So I get what he's saying. He has most of the symptoms, but it's still going to take a while. They may still have to test them. They may have to still get, spine fluid from his back in order to even confirm it, do MRIs or CAT scans or whatever they do. So it is an extensive process. So I understand him, and I'm sorry, Walter, but I'm hoping that here going forward, they can make it quick. But always fight your doctors, because doctors aren't always right either. So if you feel something wrong, you fight them. So thank you, Walter. Next lovely, beautiful lady that we have that submitted her submission, her name is Adrian. She had stated, MS has sent my whole world in a 360. Girl, I feel you. You have no idea. She said, I have good days and bad days. Girl, all the time. We all do. Diagnosed in September 2018, and her name is Adri. Well, thank you, Adri. I know how it feels. I mean, I can't imagine. You've had it since 2018, so you have a lot more experience than I do. But I get it. It honestly, like, it changed my life. Not in a bad way, but it changed my life, where it changed my perspective, and it changed how I deal with my health a lot. Now, like I said, I've always been a sick child, but now I learned that this is my number one priority, and I've made it my number one priority. So definitely it changed my life in that way, and I'm very thankful that I did it that way, because if not, forget it. So let's go to our next submission. We have Brandon. He said, hello all, I'm new to this site. That's nice, right? He's like, actually, this is my first post on social media source. That's fine. Listen, it's not easy for us to all get on here. I was diagnosed October 2018 on my second drug. I was diagnosed inadvertently via a head injury at work, which put me at the hospital for 5 days. Actually, that's a very weird way to get diagnosed. So the fact that he actually had a head injury at work, which put him in the hospital, gave him the diagnosis of MS. Now, he's not trying to say that the injury gave him the disease, because you can't get this disease through the injury at work. It must have been, I guess faith in life gave him a reason to, have, well, that's a bad way to say it, but basically, the injury opened up a new portal, and I guess showed them something that was worth showing when he had the injury. Brandon, I'm sorry you even had that. It's a really bad way to get diagnosed, because when you get diagnosed, when you have a problem, and then getting diagnosed because you had another injury, but now you just figured out you have something else, so now you have to deal with the injury, and now you have something else, that sucks. So I can't feel you on that one, but I'm very sorry for that. And you've been diagnosed longer than me, so you've had a lot of experience, and I'm hoping that here going forward, everything goes the best for you. You're on your second drug. God bless your soul. I'm literally on my fourth drug. Because my body either can't take it or does not want to. So the fact that he's had it since 2018 and is only on his second drug, I wish. But thank you, Brian, for your submission. So guys, I'm going to be reading 2 specific submissions that are very, very long. So bear with me here, because this is very important for us to know. This is real life, and like I said, I have full permission from these people to speak about it. So we're going to go in with our girl, Olivia, who submitted her submission. So I will be posting 2 photos up here. I know hopefully it's 2 photos. If not, I'll put it, into Word, because it's a lot. So we're going to go in. Olivia was diagnosed many decades ago. Her neurologist paired her with another patient, and they discussed the weakness in, her legs, the feeling of loss of her body control. She said she visited another neurologist who refused to say that it was multiple sclerosis, which I had the same thing, Olivia, don't worry. She said she went with the second diagnosis. She still had visible struggles with walking and horrendous pain, incontinuance and vibrations of the body that were unbelievable. Those are the worst. Oh my God. She said, as a care provider for parent, sibling, and parentless family members, undue stress sent me into a relapse. Guys, this is the one most important thing about this disease. You would look at all the symptoms and it's bad. But the one thing that really triggers a relapse is stress. So every single person with MS really has to be careful when it comes to stress, because anything can cause a relapse. Whether you're on treatment or not, it doesn't matter. Just the right amount of stress can tick you over. So that's very important that Olivia said that. Moving on. She said she started tumbling. She was unable to walk, dragging her feet. She needed a wheelchair. See, this is the stage of it that I don't like. So if you guys don't know, MS has 4 stages. I'm on relapsing remitting, which means that I'll get a period of symptoms and then it'll stop, which is remission. Moving on. She said, after infiltration of prednisone for several days, rehab, I returned to the ability to walk. Thank God. But let me tell you guys, prednisone is not a fun medication. I was on prednisone a few times in the past 6 months just because I had my relapse with my eye loss and my treatments, which they still needed to give me prednisone for, and that broke me out so bad, made me gain weight. It was really bad. Moving on. Pain resumed immediately and mobility issues returned steadily, of course. This time, neurologists passed me from one specialist back and forth. Oh, I hate when they do that. I mean, I get it. You know, you have to pass it to your colleagues because they may know something you don't, and I get that, but it's so annoying. This time, I said that already. One specialist refused MS. It's very hard. You will get a lot of doctors that refuse you have anything, but if you know something wrong, go with your gut. Trust me. 4 neurologists said all symptoms, including the drop foot, were symptoms of MS. Of course, like, are you kidding me? She did write, began seeing another MS specialist who did the workup, was thorough with the write-up. Okay, it's good, but hesitant to prescribe medicine. Of course they are, because you can't just prescribe anything. They don't know what stage you're in. Like for me, it was very hard for my doctors to kind of see what stage I was in. So we were just trying medication to try it, which is why I'm on my 4th one. She did state, in fact, the neurologist prescribed over-the-counter biotin and said the MS meds gave very negative reactions. Ooh. That's the first time I hear that. Because if she has all the symptoms of MS, why are you giving her biotin? Biotin out of all things? That doesn't make any sense to me, but moving on. Other physicians said the same. I now use a rollator in the home. During this pandemic, I relished meeting coworkers in virtual sessions, offering and participating in Zoom virtual sessions. Although I now visit medical personnel for issues I treated during the pandemic, I do not have an MS specialist. We now have a vaccine for COVID-19 with decades of research. Please give us a vaccine for MS. Thank you, Olivia. Wow. Guys, first of all, thank you so much, Olivia, for letting me share this. Oh my God. I mean, I'm out of words because, like, the fact that she's not fully diagnosed yet and everybody is telling her, like, no, but then you got other doctors telling her, yeah, and they just prescribed her biotin? What is biotin gonna do? Help you grow your hair? I mean, honestly, I'm a little irritated for her. I mean, I don't know if she's irritated or not. Olivia, I'm so sorry you're going through that. That's not fair. I mean, to me, that's not fair because, you know, it's like, how can you fight, you know, a professional who's been to school for more than 10 years? You know what I mean? Hopefully saying they've been to school for more than 10 years. But that's tough. That's tough. That kind of pissed me off a little bit. I was like, But that was Olivia's submission. Thank you so much. That was really hard to read. And, you know, honestly, I mean, I think a lot of people are going through what you're going through. I went through it. I unfortunately had to fight it a very long time. And I had to fight it with more than 3 doctors in order to, you know, kind of prove, you know, that I had something going on. So thank you for that. That was really heartwarming. We have one more lovely submission from NanaKris. Thank you for submitting this. We are going to read it together, guys, and this will be the last of it. So NanaKris said that they were diagnosed in 2006 following a flu shot gone bad. Yikes. That's where it gets difficult because I haven't had my flu shot since 2016. So she said, I had started my freshman semester at my local college at age 43. Yes, it's never too late. I love it. Kids grown and gone. That's how we do it, boo. In my junior year, my husband's brain tumor returned. Oh, I'm sorry. Inoperable this time, his first tumor was removed in 1991. He lost speech in his surgery. I can't. This is, okay. Reading on. My son married and his now ex-wife, who was mentally ill, moved away, so I stepped in to help raise his two kids, ages 2 and 4. At the same time, they lived with us. That is very strong of you. I praise you for that. You are a strong woman. I cared for his kids since he worked full time. I was basically their mom figure, and I was taking care of a big house and 3 acres of land, 2 small kids, and my disabled husband. All the while taking a rebuff interferon injections 3 times a week and cleaning houses to make ends meet. Now, I've heard of rebuff, but I also heard very controversial things about that medication, but I didn't know that they gave that 3 times a week. So that's crazy, and I'm sorry you had to go through that, because when I was on Avonex is an injection that you give yourself, and I used to take it 1 time a week, and that would throw me off. So you're amazing for that. Fast forwarding, it's been 10 years since my husband's tumor returned, and it has been well controlled over the years, thank God. My son remarried to a wonderful woman who loves his kids as her own, and I am now on Tecfidera. I can't take Tecfidera. My first medication was Tecfidera, and I caught a very bad allergic reaction, and it took me off. So I'm glad it's working for you, which has been a blessing, thank God. Most of us, it couldn't. I still do all the man's work around here while being a great nana to my grandkids. Women power. Age 8 and 10 now. Wow, that's grown. Cleaning houses still to make ends meet, and I'm still doing animal rescues, 50 and counting. I have currently 4 dogs and 3 cats. Get it, girl. This is what we do. Get animals. She said, I moved away and stepped in to raise 2 kids at the ages 2 or 4 at the time who live with us. That's what we do. We care for people. So yes, Nana, we create that help and love for people. I love that. So the fact that she was actually, you know, a figure, you know, to, you know, these kids, I mean, it's amazing. She said, I will be 59 years young in July. Let's go. Happy birthday. In case I, you know, forget at that time. So happy birthday. She said, and most important of all, I am still giving thanks to God every day for keeping me strong. That is right. We got to thank the Lord and the universe for giving us the strength to wake up every day. So yes, Nana, I feel you. And she said, I've said for many years now, I am thankful God had given me a good sense of humor and wide shoulders. He knew I would need them. That was so cute. Oh my God. Nana, thank you so much. I'm going to call her Nana because that's what she called herself. So Nana, thank you so much for that submission. I mean, compared to all the other ones, you really ended it very nicely. And that made me so happy because I love it when people put a positive aspect to something bad that they have. And honestly, like, this is a very touching story. Like, for me, like, I know what I've been through, but like this lady who also is going through her own stuff, and she's watching her husband go through stuff, her kids, her son, her grandkids. That's not easy. And she's not the only person that I have met and know that have to go through this and have kids. So it's very hard alone for me, but imagine people with kids, or they're a caretaker, or they have a family that they have to provide for. That's very hard, you know, while going through this. And I thank the universe every day that I'm in a position where I do have something bad, and I do accept that, but I'm very grateful that, you know I have to focus on myself, and I know I'm that person to do it to myself. So I am so thankful for that. But guys, I mean, I can't even say no more. I'm blessed for the submissions. And, you know, I have to say, thank you so much to every single person who openly said yes to submitting their stories to me. I mean, this means so much to me, and I'm sure this is going to mean a lot to so many people out there who watch my videos, who go through the same thing and are able to get an insight on how people go through it or what they're going through and what's their perspective, because we've seen a lot of perspectives here, but honestly, I feel you guys. And you know, I hope that every single one of you, when you do watch this video, you know. So guys, I'm going to wrap this up very quickly. Thank you for all of those who submitted their submission. I love you guys, and if you haven't done so already, please subscribe and my channel and like this video, so that way we can have more people that we can help. But besides that, guys, I will see you in my next video.